I think it's also a toxic, dark world. And I just see kids younger and younger having phones. And I know some of the phone companies and some of the Instagram accounts, they have this child-friendly thing,
Yeah.
but children can get around that. I do fear who people think are role models and that they want to look like them and be like them and see, especially men. We talk about toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
I think young men are finding it really difficult to find out who they are now, what their place is in society, because they're being castigated. So you got castigated because you were a strong male, and that was probably right because we were too patriarchal. And then you get castigated for being a weak male. So young men are finding it difficult to find a place in society. And young women, I think that some of the role models are damaging them. They really are, how you should look, what you should wear, you should be with. It's toxic. That's basically what it is. It's toxic.
Yeah, and I find it with my girls, we're around the same age as Holly. Is
Yeah.
anxiety is such a thing. Maybe we call it nerves or uncertainty, but anxiety is now a thing. I have difficulty helping my daughters with anxiety because I don't think I really understand it.
I don't think we do, because I remember a world without phones. I remember a world without Google. And I remember when you came home from school, if you were being bullied, there was an issue at school. Once you closed the front door, it was
You were
gone.
safe.
Now they close the front door and they go up to their bedroom and it's still there. Like they can't get away from it because they won't let themselves get away from it. Of course they can get away from it. But then if you get away from it and you go into school the next day and you haven't seen the thing that was on Instagram the night before, then you feel left out.
Yeah.
So by trying to get away from it could increase your anxiety levels anyway. So I don't think we properly arm our kids. I don't think we properly give them the armor or the way to deal with what's coming down the phone, because we can't stop what's coming down the phone, but we can help how our children react to what's coming down the phone.
And you as an adult can distill that in your own balanced life view and not let it affect you as much because you have...
No, I don't care. I mean, socially...
3 or 4 decades, 5 decades of experience behind you.
I've been called horrendous things on social media. And I just like to know that some people still remember me. They can remember me how they want, but they still remember me. I don't. And it doesn't bother me at all. But that's the way I think people should be. Look, these are anonymous people you're never going to meet, obviously have huge issues in their own life. Just bat it off. Just water over ducks back,
But you still read it, or you have to read it, or it's in your face though, isn't it?
Well, you're sitting in there in the breakfast show and you get 30 great WhatsApps saying, hey, great show, and this, and then you get one WhatsApp and it goes, God, I think you're awful. You think you're great. Well, you're crap. And you sort of tend to read over that one about 3 times going, what does he mean by that? Before you go, oh, come on, stop it. Don't let this in.
The mind is a funny thing, isn't it? You dwell on negatives. And where did you go for energy then of the positive, the iconic, happiest moments to your life, Colm?
I suppose, obviously the kids. The kids being born, Alex and Holly, just amazing. In career, there's been some amazing things that happen in career, being recognized by the industry, by getting awards in the radio and the PPI Radio Awards.
Multiple awards,
multiple awards over the years. Years ago, on the Strawberry Alarm Clock, myself and Jim, we recorded albums. 2 of them went gold, 1 of them went platinum. And I suppose if you work really hard at something and you get appreciated for it, I mean, we're built like that as humans. We love validation. I require a lot of validation. So when I get that for work I do, it makes me feel good. I can look back on it as well.
And how was it like to work outside RT? Was that a struggle to deal with, or is that the iconic place to work in your business?
Not really. No. RT was good fun, but it was too big. It was very, very corporate. And it sometimes creativity was I mean, you couldn't do stuff that you wanted to immediately do. It was stultified because there was paperwork for creativity. You have to sign off on this and you have to get those, and it didn't work. While if you're in a small radio station, you've got an idea, you can have that idea on air by the afternoon. In RTE it was a little bit slower, so I didn't miss it. I missed the parking space. because it was free. And at Christmas, I was able to park there and walk into town and then put my presents in the boot. So that's probably what I miss most. And Friday in the canteen was always fish day, and it was always very cheap.
That's the most positive thing you can say, is it?
Well, it was fresh fish.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Going back then to Classic and Nova, those changes there just roll the punches. You don't feel aggrieved to move from Nova to Classic?
Well, I don't. I mean, it's no. I don't. I was actually thrilled to move from. I mean, I was the breakfast show on Radio Nova plus the program director, and again when we moved to Classic Hits, I was program director. It felt like a really. It felt like the best move for Lucy and myself, because we were moving to a station where the music and the audience was much more fitting for us, especially for Lucy, with living with Lucy and that, while Nova would have a more male rock edge to it. And Classic Hits it feels like a much better fit, which we've proven in the ratings, because it's doing incredibly well, the breakfast show.
And going off the mic, you'd like to stay on the mic, do you, in front of house?
I probably always will be at some stage on the mic. I mean, I'm developing a podcast at the moment with my brother. We're looking at that coming out possibly in 2 weeks' time. Well, definitely in 2 weeks' time. So I think I'll always be in the media. I'm writing a book as well, so I'll always be in the media. I'm not going to give everything up. I had thought about being a driving instructor.
Did you?
I heard there was great money in it, but then I don't think I'd have the patience.
And the script writing and the writing is gone then?
No, I'm still writing. Well, I'm still writing. I'm writing a book at the moment. And then you are dealing with stuff every day on air, which involves script writing. And then this new podcast. And that once we get that off the ground, we're developing a couple of more. Not necessarily that I'm in, but we're writing a couple of more podcasts. So not screenwriting for Hollywood, but still writing.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
And then music that's traveled with you. I mean, it's a silly question.
God, when you sent me this, I mean, like music has been, probably the reason I leaned into radio was for music. I mean, I've had music in my life, my entire life. And just after COVID, then I started taking piano lessons. So I'm playing piano now as well.
Yeah.
And I have different Spotify playlists for the different moods I'm in.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult to single out one particular track. Everything is
traveled with you constantly. When you go to, it takes you. I mean, for me, every time I hear Hotel California, good, bad, or indifferent, there's parts of that track that just take me away.
Yeah. I suppose so. There's a great track, and I think it might have been when there was stuff going on in my life in early days in radio. Jackson Browne, Sky Blue, Sky Black, and it's from an amazing album called I'm Alive, when he just split up with Daryl Hannah.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a lot of stories about him, and he wanted to put them straight. And it's probably his finest album. And there's this track called Sky Blue, Sky Black. If I hear that, just the piano at the start, if I hear that, I stop in my tracks. And that would be one. I also Dance with My Father from Luther Vandross, because when I hear it does remind me of my dad, who passed away 5 years ago, because he used to put his feet out and I'd put my feet on top of his when I was a kid, and he'd teach me how to dance. So when I hear that, I always think of the way he taught me how to dance with my father.
And there's no U2 there, even though you
no U2. No, not
U2. Mates.
Yeah, no. If there was a go-to album and a go-to artist, it would be Stevie Wonder. And I can't. If I put on the album Hotter Than July, I have to listen to the whole album. It's just one of the greatest albums for me. So it is just music. I mean, I'm surrounded by music.
But you see music in colors or lights, or how does the music play? It's just something in your head.
Mood, totally mood. Yeah. It's completely mood. I mean, I have playlists for when I'm writing. I have playlists for when I want to feel better. I just if I need to start thinking creatively, I'll come into my study and I'll put on music. Could be vinyl, could be CDs, could be something from Spotify. But music gets me going all the time. I couldn't live without it. And
where did that come from?
My dad was a big jazz fan.
Was he?
My mum loved music. I think I had an older brother and an older sister, and they loved David Bowie, the Beatles,